Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, is it 2015 because there were CM Punk chants on Raw?
Is John Cena done with WWE?
3 major WWE NXT call-ups have been confirmed.
And WWE is expected to land a huge cash money deal. I'm Adam Wilborn.
I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news.
Oh boy, it's been a while since we've had ye olde Phil Brooks chants on Raw, but we had some last night, and I think this is a very interesting topic to talk about, so we're going to talk about them. It was during Shinsuke Nakamura versus Akira Tozawa,
of course,
on this week's episode of Raw. And for the first time in what feels like about 5 years or something, CM Punk chants, CM Punk, CM Punk, all around the building. There was another tease elsewhere on the show. They've been doing these little teasy things, and there's some interesting reports going around on that stuff at the moment, but obviously we're in the run-up to Survivor Series, which is in CM Punk's backyard. It's in Rosemont, Illinois. It's at the Allstate Arena. That has been heavily speculated for his return. We've covered every single angle of this quite extensively. The line from within WWE for now is no for now, not necessarily no forever. And we've also covered those stories that stated that WWE was very keen to not set expectations. They don't want people going into Survivor Series thinking CM Punk's going to turn up. No. And then if he doesn't turn up, everyone's pissed. But if people are chanting it in the arena 3 weeks before, maybe expectations are already being arisen. I think this is interesting on a number of levels. CM Punk, you chanted that at a WWE arena, not necessarily because you thought he was going to show up or anything, but it was like an act of rebellion.
Yeah, it's a protest vote, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It was just like the beach balls and all of that rubbish. Though that era is long gone, for the most part. Those fans don't go to WWE shows anymore, who are hijacking the show. I always hated that phrase, but that's how it was described. You don't get those rebellious crowds so much anymore. An exception, probably the Gable Steveson match, like earlier this year. He got booed his ass because he was rubbish.
Yeah.
Booed his ass. He got booed his ass. That doesn't make any sense. But it's an old protest vote. But it's not really a protest vote anymore because every WWE fan loves the product.
Yeah, Raw kicks ass right now.
Yeah, like everyone's really happy. So it's an interesting situation. It'll be a fun one to monitor. But yeah, CM Punk chance on. It's been a while, in the words of Creed.
Oh yeah.
No, wait, that was Stained, wasn't it? Yeah. Don't Google Aaron Lewis, by the way.
They're getting very excited. Obviously, like you say, WWE said no for now, but they would say that because he's coming in at Survivor Series. I have said this for weeks. Granted, all the proper actual journalists, your Sean Ross Saps, Ibu, who's very clued up with this sort of thing, they all tell you it's not going to happen. But they would say that as well, wouldn't they? Huh? Because he's coming in at Survivor Series. I'm going to be on the live stream, sat right here with Michael Hamflett. I'm going to pop my little tits off when his music hits. And my sources tell me, Andy, that there weren't chants at Raw last night. That was piped in by WWE because they want to get people excited for 2.5 weeks or whatever it is when he comes in for War Games.
You know how MJF has the triple B with a double B? The balance and the bollocks. That's how it goes. Yeah, it was actually Dominic Mysterio pushing the button for the piped in chance as well. But hey, look, let us know what you think down below. Like, fire up. Do you think there's going to be more CM Punk chants? Do you think he's coming? Do you think he's going? Do you think he's stuck in the middle? Do you think he's just hanging out with Larry, who's got a torn ACL apparently?
Oh,
poor Larry.
Get well soon, mate.
Let us know down below. And Phil Brooks.
From CM Punk to John Cena.
Wow.
Legendary opponents, of course.
Yeah.
Is John Cena done in WWE? Has he wrestled his last ever match? No, probably not. He sort of led you to believe something like that could be happening after he got his ass handed to him by Solo Sikoa at Crown Jewel. He got spiked into oblivion.
Yeah, after some limb work.
But he's not completely done. But he's probably done with WWE for now. Obviously, he kind of came back amidst all the actors' strikes and what have you, and he did this sort of limited month and a bit run, which is really enjoyable, I thought. And I thought ending that by putting over Solo Sikoa so big at Crown Jewel was great. He teased retirement on social media by posting an image of David Beckham in his last ever match for PSG, of course. But yeah, he's probably more than likely going to come back for a match at WrestleMania 40.
Sports Illustrated, the source on this one.
Yes.
Noting that he appears to be done for WWE for now. And he said previously that once the SAG-AFTRA strikes were... I have no idea what's going on with that situation. For me, turning on the news is not an enjoyable experience at the moment, so pardon my ignorance on that one. But I guess that lines up. But yeah, it seems to be done. It's been a weird run, strange run from John Cena, this latest one, I think. Rubsky, is it effective still? I don't think the Austin Theory one was effective at Mania. Solo, we'll see.
I like the Solo one, and I especially like the fact he's sort of gone... LA Knight kind of kicks ass as well. I think that helped him too.
He's pointed to LA Knight several times, so that means he's a made man. Over. But hey, look, if you want to hear all the latest opinions on John Cena, LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and the Rubsky, click that subscribe button. That's where you'll get it. We do this every day, and sometimes we do it twice in a day. Just like Mike Chioda. Ring that bell. Yeah, there you go. Get that notification. That's a Mike Chioda. Speaking of ringing bells, we'll be back later today, by the way, with another news video talking about some WWE signings, some AEW signings, and some other stuff as well. So later on today, after Raw Ups and Downs, another news video. We're good to you. You're like that. Spoiling you. Double dose. Yeah, it's like a bacon double cheeseburger. Oh, don't say that. I'm the cheese, you're the burger. What? Let's roll. Let's keep rolling. Call-ups, NXT call-ups confirmed. It's not really a major shock or anything, but the Creeds, they're back. They're back? What am I on about? I am a nightmare today. I'm going home. The Creed brothers and Ivy Nile are on the main roster. Yes! They've been called up from NXT to Raw. It's no great surprise because there was a bunch of reports to this effect. Yeah. Going around last week when they, of course, debuted on Raw and they had that really fun match with Alpha Academy, which was legitimately one of my favorite WWE things of the year. It was just really good. Everything was perfect. And they wrestled again last night as well. Johnny Gargano taking the pin. Yeah. It's quite interesting looking at the parallels between DIY and... I was praying for interference in that match because I was like, oh, you really shouldn't beat either of these teams. They sort of got away with it because of interference from Ludwig Kaiser. But yeah, Creed brothers... continuing on. Ivy now looked great in the Battle Royal as well. I love the three of them. Been singing their praise on NXT for a long old time. I think they'll do big things on the main roster. I wouldn't be surprised if they win the tag titles within their first year. I've liked these people from day one. Yeah. From the day they first showed up on one of the early episodes and they were smacking each other in the face and stuff. They're just like, who are we facing? Oh, they're getting chucked all over the place. They were just unrefined meatballs of human beings, the Creed brothers, and I've enjoyed them since. And I think that I'm very happy that they're on the main roster because they're great and they'll be fun. Yeah. Finally, let's talk about Cash Money. Ain't nothing funny about WWE's new deal. Apparently... Oh, I've clicked on the wrong thing there. I've gone onto my after news notes there. Apparently, according to leading financial services organisation JP Morgan, they expect WWE to land around $375 million for the next media rights deal for Raw. This was aggregated in Wrestling Observer's Daily Update. Apparently, they claim that the WWE and partner organisation UFC's business is currently undervalued as a stock, should be trading at around the $100 mark. And that TV deal, by the way, would be a 42% increase. They currently earn $265 million pathetic, annually to broadcast Raw on USA. Obviously, we keep reporting on these sorts of things because all the rights deals are kind of up in the air at the moment, aren't they, Andy? Everything's all over the shop. Fox no longer carrying SmackDown. That's going over to USA as of next October. Raw and NXT are still in play. There's a bunch of potential bidders for those, but you wonder if USA has bought SmackDown. Do they have enough left in the pot for Raw and NXT as well? Will that go somewhere else? AEW's deal is up. We spoke about that a little bit last week, but also where could that land? Who the heck knows? And it all depends as well. If networks invest money into, say, NBA coverage, they're not going to have as much money for wrestling, which doesn't do as well for them with advertisers. So it's a whole interesting universe. The wrestling TV landscape could look drastically different very soon. I think don't change any of the days, please. Yeah, don't change the days. That being said, if they could somehow condense it so that all of our coverage was during the week. Oh, okay. I'd take that, right? SmackDown on a Thursday. Somehow, yeah. Make it happen. Make it so. Collision on a Sunday, so we can do it on a Monday. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. 5 days, coverage done. That way I can go home at the weekend and I can have time off. Yeah. I'm not complaining about the job. Please don't frame it that way. It's just a joke. Yeah. Changes. Money. Yeah, basketball's work. Some people
So-
would actually have you believe that. So
Yeah.
yeah, you're not wrong.
Go Bucks. We've got Milwaukee Bucks, my team.
There you go. Giannis.
Yeah.
Is he still kicking about?
I don't really pay that much attention, I've got to be
That Greek
honest.
freak.
When I was on my honeymoon, I just made friends with some American people, and they gave us a Bucks cap, and I thought, oh, check how the Bucks are doing. And then, yeah, they had Giannis.
They got the freak, man.
And he was awesome. And I was like, cool, this must be like supporting Man United in the 90s. Great.
And my team's the Orlando Magic, and they suck. They have
Fair
sucked.
enough.
They've sucked for about 15 years.
There's always
Great.
a chance, you never know.
No, there
because,
isn't.
You know, underdogs, Daniel Bryan,
Underdogs.
you know,
Arsenal, Emirates.
Yeah.
Shout out to
That's-
Steve McLaren.
basketball's a work.
Yeah.
My money's on the Looney Tunes this year.
Harlem Globetrotters, they're making waves. What about Stanley from The Office? Always had good technique on the basketball. Michael Scott.
Stanley!
Yeah, just dribbling up the court.
So good.
Love it.
Right, let's move over to your Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE and X if you want to send them to us. First question today comes from SOS Distress Call from the mining ship Red Dwarf, aka Chris Kibble. Cheers, Chris. Nice name. Good morning, you legends of wrestling. Thank you, Chris. Was Kyrie's return wasted at Crown Jewel given how flat it felt with an audience who didn't care? I feel the reaction would have been far better with an audience that appreciates those involved.
You'd have probably got, like, it. It's difficult to say. I think you would have got a better reaction in like a hot US city or whatever, right? I just think they'd be a bit more excited.
Like Survivor Series, Chicago or something.
For the most part, like the Saudi Arabian audiences, they're more interested in like the big names, the big stars, right? They want to watch John Cena and Triple H have that rest hold match they had, which I actually really liked.
Yeah.
By the way, a lot of people hated that. I thought it was ace. They did nothing, and they got the best reactions of all time. It was
Well,
class.
so weird. It's like, am I watching a house show?
Yeah, am I watching a aerobics routine? Like it was like feng shui. It was so slow. It was ace.
Do you reckon it benefited now from people looking back and going, well, it wasn't the tag match between the old dudes.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. This is true. This is true.
Did Goldberg nearly kill Taker in Saturday as well?
He did, yeah. It was pretty
What a
brutal.
track record they've
It was
got over
pretty
there.
brutal. So yeah, I do think that it would have got a different reaction somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
just purely because I think the Saudi Arabian fans want to see the big stars, and like Kairi Sane is an awesome wrestler, but she's not as big a name as John Cena, for obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe it would have been received differently elsewhere, but I think the idea or the rumors of this Joshi stable is pretty cool. And I am looking forward to seeing Kyrie versus Rhea Ripley someday. 'Cause that'd be outrageous.
I also liked Bianca Belair posting a makeup tutorial or someone doing their makeup to look like a clown, saying, me thinking I was just going to get a straight one-on-one match with the ex-guy. Very good, that. But yeah, so happy Kairi Sane's back. She would have been received better elsewhere, but she's still going to get great reactions now she's back. SmackDown this week's very exciting in terms of all the fallout from Crown Jewel. Lots to talk about on that one. Sean Ackling gives us our second question of the day. He writes, to an increasingly fuzzier Dudley boy, thank you, Sean, and the champion of flatties,
Hey.
what started as something as a concerned friend deformed into something even better? What do you guys think of Roderick Neckstrong's increasingly unhinged character? What do you reckon? Andy!
Hate it. It's awful. I'm really sick of it. I popped for it for the first few
Yes.
weeks, right? And then it quickly wore thin. It does my head in, honestly. Like, Adam, every single bloody week. We got 2 of those segments last week when he was getting strolled around and stuff, and it's patently ridiculous as well, right? This geezer is in this wheelchair with the neck and all of this stuff, but he can just suddenly pop out, jump in the ring, hit a flying knee, and then fall back in the chair. Oh, ha ha ha, isn't it funny? Nah, Roderick Strong's a killer pro wrestler.
Yeah.
He's an absolute monster. He's a machine. He's a freak of sorts. Get him back in the ring kicking ass. I'm done with this crap. Like, I'm done with this whole storyline. I hate everything about it. I'm just being honest. I despise this crap. I think it's undermining the top level storylines in AEW.
Yeah.
The devil stuff makes no flipping sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. The devil attacked MJF day one. Not MJF, Jay White, sorry.
Yeah.
Day one. Jay White does not give a fudge about any of this. He's moved on. He came back and he was like, oh, I don't care, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, why does Roddy Strong care? That devil's not done anything to you properly. It's complete nonsense. Roddy Strong is one of the best in-ring wrestlers
Yeah.
in the world. He should be having great matches.
They brought him in here that kick-ass match with Jericho straight out of the gate.
And you know what? This is doing nothing for ratings. It's doing nothing for tickets, so you can't even make a business argument. If you like it, fair play. We just like different things. That's totally cool. There's nothing wrong with that. We're allowed to like different rings. And I imagine that Roddy is probably having a great time.
Absolutely.
Right? And you can tell that Taven's having a laugh with a giraffe and all of that stuff and all of that nonsense. But for me, this has changed the channel material. I think it stinks and I hope it f***s off.
That's 4.
Yeah. Sorry, editor, but...
I'm kind of indifferent towards it, if I'm perfectly honest. I think, like you say, it was kind of cute at the beginning.
Yeah.
Now I'm just sort of like, when it happens. Anything that gets the Kingdom on my telly, I kind of like. I love those two, and I felt when they got brought in initially, I was like, well, you put them on more, don't you put them on ROH or whatever?
This is the thing, I like all 3 of these people. Especially Mike Bennett, I think he's a great dude. But...
I think it's emblematic of something that is sort of a problem with a lot of wrestling fans, and I'm not just limiting this to AEW, I'm talking WWE, I'm talking anyone. When your company that you want to support does something slightly funny, the amount of times people on social media are like, it's so funny. It's not that funny. Chill out.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because just like what you like, really, right? Like, what are you into? Cool, go all in on that.
Sean, it sounds like you like it. I'm glad that you do.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Sean. That was an asshole there. I respect differing opinions. But for me, I hate it.
Yeah.
What can I say? It's like going, hey, Andy, never mind that beatdown hardcore record. Listen to some R&B or some country western.
Hey, Andy, how about in the cup final you support Rangers?
Yeah. There you go. Like, this is
done. When is it? December.
The 17th, baby. My house. Come round.
Yes.
Not you guys. I'm sorry.
You're more than welcome.
You're not allowed.
I'll post the address on social media.
Yeah, it is 1 Street Gateshead, Scotland. There you go.
But Anyway, final question. Comes from Wild Wilson. A bit of a booking suggestion now.
Wild Wilson.
I
love it.
Actually, the @ is Wild Wilson.
Oh, wow.
Wow, Wilson.
I just mentioned country and western.
This is a partner's picture this. Cody Samuels FJ versus Judgment Day and
Well, you cannot understand a word you're saying.
Cody Sammy 7J versus Judgment Day in War Games. Judgment Day win, and while everyone is down, Damien cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Ooh,
what do you reckon?
On the chef. Yeah, I think that's cool. I think that's a cool image because everyone's going to be there, right? All of the players in this storyline are going to be there at the exact same time. Finn, everyone else. Seth the chef, obviously. Cody's over there. Jey Uso, main event Jey. They got to tell you he's main event every single time he's on screen. I think he's good. I'm not taking the piss. I think that's good and cool image. Seeing him cashing in while everyone is there is cool.
Do you think they're going to add anyone from over there? Like, are they going to say, actually, we want Jimmy Uso or Solo as part of our team? And maybe then the good guys can get KO back in.
Yeah, maybe. It would add an extra level of slivery stories.
There is no chance in the world that Judgment Day winning that match, though. Cody Rhodes is getting the pinfall on that one because it's the road to WrestleMania is beginning. But I wouldn't be surprised if Damian Priest is like, oh yeah, no, I can't make the save for the pin. Match over, everyone leaving. Clobber to Seth Rollins. So keep your eye out.
That's what.
Or maybe there'll be a cash in beforehand, and that'll make the interaction between Seth and Damien more.
Hey, maybe you should cash in on this video right now. Click that one. We'll be back later. Peace, bye. Yeah.